It's no TPP, no TPP, no TPP, no TPP, no TPP, no TPP, no TPP. And you're gonna be chanting, you gotta do it like this. No TPP, no TPP, ain't getting it across. But we want to be heard, right? And that's what's really important. We want to be heard. So we got to be organized, we got to be specific, we got to be clear. I was doing a panel yesterday and I brought up this thing, you know, it's obviously related to terrorism, but the whole thing around if you see something, say something. And I've been talking about this for years because, you know, when we have instances of police brutality or overreach in our government, like we just saw in Syria with over 80 people who were killed by drone strikes, it was an accident. We don't call that terrorism. You know it's terrorism for them.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
For me, I always think it's so interesting because there's that slogan. It sounds so rousing and it sounds so collaborative and connected. If you see something, say something, because we're working together here. But I always feel like there's this like invisible writing that's underneath it that says, if you see something, say something, except when it's us. But if it's out there and we have a comment that we agree on enemy, it's all good. But if it's me, then no, you're not allowed.
Yeah.
You're not going to be heard, and that's not okay.
Right.
We are so divided in our struggles. I remember reading this amazing book by Arundhati Roy, and she was talking about the struggle in India and how all of these different organizations were working against each other, trying to get a bit of funds that they could use to keep their organizations going. And they have very critical issues that they're dealing with, everything from child trafficking to environmental issues and beyond, right? But they're undermining each other because the little bit of funds that they're allowed to, ask for and compete for is so small, it's not enough to sustain them all. And rather than working together and recognizing how large their network is and how powerful they undermine each other. The other side doesn't work like that. Corporations, different governments, these trade deals, all of that has them working together, makes them very powerful. All of those businesses. And it doesn't always seem apparent because they're playing a long game.
Yeah.
They'll go, okay, like there's my community in New York. We're gonna give you money, and the project's there because they're wanting to gentrify. We're gonna give you money to renovate your buildings. You just gotta sign this lease that says you have to move out in 30 years. Now that seems, for a lot of people, like, wow, 30 years and I get to have a brand new apartment. That's awesome, right? No, 30 years goes by like that. And you're talking about people who are very poor, who are in 30 years' time, when the prices are really skyrocketing, are gonna have to leave New York and leave their home. They're not gonna have a home to pass on to their children. That's not okay. But you're not thinking about it because we're always in survival mode. How many of you felt like that this entire campaign? Offense, we are perpetually on the defense.
Absolutely.
I feel your pain because I can understand the idea of now screaming for party unity, but considering that was a conversation for months, it's really hard because at what point were we ever able to be critical? And we have a lot to be critical about. And we have a lot of work to do. The reality is, though, no matter what, even if Bernie were to have become the nominee here, which for me, I was like, if Bernie's the nominee, then cool, and I get to go spend some time with my kid, because I knew it was going to be an issue. I knew he was going to win. I'm not so sure now in November what's going to happen. But I was completely sure. It's like, we just got to get through the primaries, and after that, Bernie, I'll see you in November.
That's right. They're super
We have a lot of work to do. Regardless, even if he had become, or even, who knows, miracles happen, right? But the reality is, regardless of who becomes president, we have a lot of work to do. And the reason why we have a lot of work to do is because we're so divided. And we have a lot of power. And one of the things that Bernie revealed to us was just how powerful we all are when we come under one umbrella.
Yep.
The reason why people are so freaked out right now is because Dems, Republicans, independents, first-time voters, people who are not going to vote now, green voters, all types of folks, all went under Bernie. And without him, we're splitting and divided. That makes me really nervous. And how do we channel that so that it actually helps us all? I was talking to a Native American woman yesterday, and she said, I hope tomorrow that he will bring us up. And I said, oh, I was planning on it. She goes, no, but I really talk about us. She goes, I know like in Hollywood, everyone complains about, Oscars so wide. But Hollywood isn't white. It's very black and white. We are not shown up. Our Asian community isn't shown up. We really need to understand when we're talking about racial profiling, that we're also talking about our Latinos brothers and sisters. Indignation. We have a network for good that's never been so powerful. I implore you to listen to Paul Hawkins' commencement speech that he did a few years ago that just really talks about our collective human history so beautifully. When you look at it, millions of us marched to stop a war before it happened. That's brilliant and historical.
Yep.
The Occupy movement, they might want to create the narrative that it wasn't that organized. But look at how much we're still talking about it. How powerful it is. We need to claim that narrative and know that when we're saying Black Lives Matter, it's not because we're just jumping on the train, but because we're going, no, talk to me about your issues. I want to support it because I don't want you to just like my picture and you like mine. I want to show up for you and you show up for me. We did this. We had planned on doing a New York tour, bus tour, which ended up turning into an RV tour across California. And meeting so many people, one of the things that we did often was create prayer circles. And we would come together, we always created ceremony and create space, a safe space for people to communicate and share and talk. That space is being declared in the news right now of the DNC, but it actually hasn't been created.
Right.
That doesn't, when I walk into that convention center, I don't feel like it's a safe.
No. You can't break that chain. And if you're feeling weak, you don't walk out, you don't let go, you step into the circle so that our energy can feed you. And it literally, scientifically will change your molecules. And we need to make sure that we're taking in the folks that don't have that strength, who are down right now, and put them in that circle and hold them strong. And the reason why that circle is so powerful is because I can't see behind me, but you can. So that means you have my back. You can't see behind you, but I can. And you know, we're working back on you. And you have each other's back, and we have a lot of work to do. And think about that intersectionality. Whatever it is that caused, that brought you to the forefront, that made you take that time to phone bank, to canvas, to go and stand. It wasn't like he was prompt when he had these rallies. People had to wait in the cold, in the rain, in the sun, for hours. And they did it not because there was going to be some big celebrity there that was going to sing for them. They waited there. I would go there. They'd be like, hey, everybody, okay. When's Bernie coming out? He's made it sure that the revolution lives on by creating an organization to help. All of the local elections that really So that if Trump is president, he can't do anything he's trying to do. To the promises that they made to get their votes to get them there. Then they'll go, cool, thank you so much. Because the one person that I rallied behind was the guy I knew would keep the door open at the White House and open up the windows and blinds and say, let's get to it. As a leader. But it seems like most of them are going, give me your vote and then I'll take it from you. It's not how it works. It's not how the political revolution works. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for all the work that you've done. Thank you to all of you for being here. And thank you to all of you for the work to come that I know you will participate in.